All right, everybody, welcome back to the flight deck. We've been going for about just over 9 hours now, about 9:15 or so, and we're just entering the borders of Texas, down around Arkansas. So we're getting close, and we're about 80 miles from top of descent. So it's time to start getting the aircraft configured and ready for our arrival. So just getting everything for the stream back up and going. We'll retake our seat here as we start in on our briefing. So, set checklist approach briefing. We're going to be keeping with the Swayze 6 arrival and landing on runway 36 right. Let me just bring in the arrival for us. Where is the one I want? There we go. All right, so here's the arrival. We're coming into Windu. We're heading there right now. As you see, 80 miles. We have top of descent, and you can see Kevin's about 42 miles out ahead of us. From Windu, we're going to head down through Solo, then Gabo, Swayze, Vader, and we're going to come off the Hoof, then Mare, Smurf, and then we're going to vector around. We're going to pick up the inbound point here, our initial approach fix at Ballad, descending down to our intercept of 1,600 feet, landing on runway 36 right. Once down, we're going to probably come off around Gulf. We'll take Gulf all the way across to Charlie, Charlie up to Whiskey, and then up onto the cargo apron at the north end of the field. So that is the planned approach for our arrival and approach into Austin. What we can do now is just confirm all our information. So we're going to pop down to the FMC. I'm going to go to init ref, index, and approach. We're going to set up our information here. So gross weight is good. All the information here is fine. We're going to be landing flaps 30 with a ref speed of 154. That gives us an approach speed of 159. So we'll select that and put it in here. And that now puts it up on our displays. I guess that's set up. We're now going to pop into a RadNav. Sorry about the voice, still bugging me. But hopefully... Ooh, cough spell there. Hopefully we'll get through the flight without too much problem. So you can see the frequency showing 110.5. That is correct. IHCE is the identifier, and heading of 355 is also correct for that. The VOR we're not gonna bother tuning in. There is nothing really at the airport. The nearest one is the Centrex VOR, which is kind of far away, not really used for anything. So we're not going to worry about that. We'll just let her auto-tune. I also have no NDBs in the area. So the ILS frequency is good. Holds we're not too worried about. If we do have to hold, we're basically on the missed approach. Climbing to 1,000, I might turn to 3,000 feet on the heading of 030 outbound on the CWK VOR 088 to Hook. But it's all planned into the FMC, so it will be doing that on its own. We'll just head back to our VNAV page here. 63 miles to top of descent. We are good there. So auto brake for 9,000 foot runway with a heavy load. We're going to go auto brakes 3. So we'll set that up. And now auto brakes 3 is set. Minimums for the approach. We're going to do a Cat 1. Now I'll pull up the weather and get the latest. METAR out of Austin. Seems to be automatic reporting as well. We don't need the remarks. Bit of a high pressure. They've had rain and mist. It says it's raining right now, light rain. So 010 at 6, so just out of the north. So we're going to keep runway 36 right. 10 miles of visibility, but light rain, overcast at 2,600 feet, 17 degrees and 3025. So we'll get that in. Now we'll switch over to inches and 63025. All right, that's set and 25. Set and ready to go. We'll leave the other one in standard pressure there. There we go. That is set. For minimums for the approach, we're going to be coming in on a Cat 1. The minimums are 150 feet above the ground, so we should be clear of all weather. So that's going to be 630 feet on the barrel, so we're set for barrel. And we'll go 630. And radio, or the ILS is tuned in, so that's good. And 630, we can see the ILS is tuned in over there, IHCE, and 355 on the heading. Seatbelt signs are good. We'll do that as we descend down. We're not too worried. So minimums are all set. Altitude pre-select. So we're basically going to go down to the last point on the star. So we're going to set it up as 5,000 feet. And that gives us our final point of descent. Like I said, we're going to vector after that, so we'll do a manual adjustment from that point on. We had a beautiful sunset. Put a couple pictures up on the Discord, but as you can see, the sun's just gone down. Stars are starting to come out, looking very nice. And again, Kevin is just in front of us. There you can see the missed approach departure and come in and joining into the hold, but not too worried about that at the moment. I'm going to bring the range into 80 miles. We're 40 miles now from top ascent. Kevin should just be about ready to start down. So we are tuned 122.8, so the radios are up. We should hear Kevin and hear what's going on. Seeing he's getting a big return on the radar around Austin. I'm just going to do a quick check on that as well. Just go over to Texas. Oh my, oh yeah. We got a lot of weather. Ooh. Which way is it moving? Yep, it's to the south. It's a wide storm front to the south, and it's moving up into the area. Pretty. There's Kevin heading down. Seems to be focused over San Antonio and then another huge spot down between Laredo and Corpus Christi. Austin's to the north of that, but we're going to be getting into that as well. So definitely got some weather coming up, which could be interesting. We got a little bit to go before our descent. So the FMS is good, speed, LNAV, and VNAV path. Descent altitude is set. And we are 30 miles to go. Estimating fuel 26.6 tons, and we are at 28.9, so obviously we're not going to burn a lot on descent. We should be good. And we got some nice spacing between us. So we look at the clock on the thing. We are 9 hours, 11 minutes from when we took off. 9:22 from when we pushed back from the gate. So we're not doing too bad on our time. And everything is looking really good. We're now, the VORs have picked up the ACT VOR. Wildcat Canyon, China Spring, Texas. Yeah, so we are heading into Texas now. We're going to be passing, well, we're in Texas. We're passing south of Dallas-Fort Worth. It is off that way. So we're kind of coming in over to the east central Texas at the moment. Never been to Austin, been down to DFW. Didn't get down to Austin, just stayed up in that area. But we're looking good. Take a quick look outside. You can see the sun's gone down. It's starting to get dark, really dark behind us. Of course, clouds are out. Not a lot of traffic in the area. It's spinning around. Kevin's just ahead of us. It was showing on TCAS. We'll click over to below. We're going to be starting now. We're 16 miles from top of descent. And we're looking good. And it's been a smooth flight. We'll be back next week with the next leg of this trip. We'll be heading from Austin, Texas. I believe we're going down to Mexico City, so that's a shorter flight. We'll be streaming the entire thing start to finish. 2.5 hour flight, I believe, on that one, as we head into Mexico City. And then I think we go to Sao Paulo, Brazil, and then we come back to Las Vegas.
Austin traffic Aircraft 1 there, Tango currently overhead wind to flight level 284 inbound on the 66 right for the ILS, runway 36 right, awesome.
Alright, so he's 34 miles ahead of us now. Back to Las Vegas, and then from there we fly another long one from Las Vegas to Abu Dhabi. And then that wraps up the Formula One season, but we got to get the airplane back to our base in London, so we'll have one final flight from Abu Dhabi up to our Stansted home base for the aircraft to be serviced after all this work. Alright, 7 miles to go, and we'll be starting down. So we are on multiplayer. We have had some other aircraft around us, as I've been checking, but not sure how busy Austin will be. Alright, we're kind of 3 miles from top of descent, just keeping an eye on everything. We should see the vertical path indicators come online, and then we should start down. 1 mile to go. Zero miles to go. Vertical path indicator is up, and we are reducing throttle and nose down. Austin area traffic skyways 5556, leaving flight level 380 inbound for the Swayze 6 arrival, ILS 36 right, Austin. So we're going to be flying down. We'll be passing the airport to the east of the airport, heading south, and then we'll be making a turn around to come back up on the instrument landing system for landing. There are various speed restrictions we're going to be coming up to. The first one is at well, technically it's at Solo, but Solo's not on my flight plan, so it's at Gabo. We have to be at 250 knots at above 13,000 feet, which is showing. So we'll see how the aircraft does with that. Alright, we are looking good. We can do a final check as we run through here on descent. Engines are all working fine. Generators are good. Fuel levels are good. Over to the aircon. Temperatures are good and all systems are running well. No issues with flight controls. Hydraulics are green and pressures are good. Doors are still secured and armed. All tire pressures are, temperatures are good. Not seeing Kevin's lights. Not yet. We should shortly. Looks like we're gonna definitely probably run into some rain. It's a good definitive answer there. So it's 280 at Solo, which is 18 miles from Windoo. I would put it about there. It's holding our speed. There's our turn for Windoo. Alright, so about 20 miles out from Gabo, we'll slow down to 280. At Gabo, we got to be at 250. And at Gabo is where we actually enter in on the arrival. This is just the feeder portion. So that's through 30,000 feet. We'll tell the guys in the back, the crew guys, to seatbelt up. There's our restriction, 250 above 13,000 feet at Gabo. Transition altitude, of course, 18,000 feet on the arrival here in North America. You can see here, because of the with the pattern for the missile approach, because we're coming off of it this way, and we have to be going in a clockwise circle. What happens is you come in through here, and then you have to come up and do a teardrop to enter in, and then come in and around. So that's why it looks the way it looks. 26,000 feet. We're going to start bringing that speed back to 280. I'm not sure if it's going to get there on its own. We're already down in idle on the engine, so we'll do a little bit of speed brake. Start getting that speed back. See the missed approach pattern shrinking in the hold as well as our speed slows down. Gabo, we have to be above 13,000. Swayze, we have to be between 16 and 10, so it's probably going to put us through somewhere in the middle. Vader, we have to be above 8,000. We're just doing a continual descent. Mare is 6,000, and then Smurf is a hard 5,000, which is what I've got dialed in. Alright, speed's down to 280. We'll bring the spoilers in so the engines aren't fighting the airplane itself. 15 miles from Gabo, 10 miles we'll start slowing down to 250. See, the aircraft wants to speed up. We're below 285 now, which is good, so we're going to go flaps 1. That'll help with speed control. And there we go. And we can go flaps 5 when we set 250. There we go, 10 miles to go. We'll bring that speed down to 250. Let the aircraft slow down. There we go, 250. We're gonna go flaps 5, 265, speed checked. Flaps 5. Oh yeah, we're in between the cloud layers now. We're looking good. Here's the CWK VOR. That's the missed approach one. It's over here. That's pointing in. And then we have to do that radial out to the hook, but it's already in there, so that is all good. Hey, Mr. Exxon over on Twitch, how you doing? It's going good. Just finishing our 10-hour flight, descending down into Austin, Texas. It's going well. Thanks for popping by. And thanks for saying hi. All right, there's 18,000 feet. We're going to go over to standard pressure, or off standard to 3025. We'll leave that on standard. There's the checklist warning. I don't use it. I use the hard one here. Altimeters, that's good. Come off of that, back to fuel. Alright, so we're good at 250 as we head down. There's 17,000 feet. Everything is good there. We'll do a call over Swayze. We're 2.5 miles out. Let's bring that down to 40 miles now. Probably going to cost it right at 16,000. It's going to keep us at the top end here. And there she goes. Austin area traffic, Skyways 5556, crossing Swayze, flight at 16,000 feet, inbound on the Swayze 6 arrival, ILS 36 right, Austin. This is the 747, can't see it from outside, 747-8 freighter, the Asobo 787 with the AA avionics and aerodynamics upgrade 2. I think that's what that means. So it's the updated default 747. All right. So the next restriction we have is coming up at Vader. We have to be above 8,000 feet. Not going to be an issue. And again, we're hard down at 5,000 at Smurf. Seeing a lot of cloud out there. Just see some stars here and there, but we're heading into the weather, so that's for sure. Alright, we're going to maintain 250 knots to Mare. Hey, thanks for the follow. Greatly appreciated there, Mr. Zaizon. Exxon. Yeah, it's really been improved since they did the update to it. It's a lot of fun to fly, and this is the same update they did in the 787, which I haven't tried yet. It's on my list of flights to do, so it'll be coming up eventually as well, and we'll see how she does. All right, we're crossing over Vader now. Come in a little bit more there. And we're heading to Hoof. And continuing our descent. That's us through 13,000 feet. We have to be above 6,000 at Mare and at 5,000 at Smurf. At which point we're going to go into heading mode. And we'll manually vector ourselves around to come in for the ILS. It's normal procedures here at this airport anyway, is radar vectors off the ends of the arrivals. And they probably use that for spacing. It's 12,000 feet. It's pretty black out. Again, little glimpses of stars, but a lot of cloud.
Austin traffic here, looks like I'm currently overhead. Somewhere 5,000 foot. We're going to be inbound for the ILS runway 36 flight via Shoe.
All right, that's Kevin going in. He is not using the extension. He's going to cut it in a little bit tighter. That's good. It'll make sure that we're well clear of each other. Kevin, I don't know if you've got the chat up, but how's the weather looking down there? All right, looking good. Black. Well, yeah. All right, there's 10,000 feet. So we'll get the lights on. We'll get those lights on. Let's get the wing lights on. The logo lights are on. We'll give them a ring in the back. Let them know we're passing through 10,000. When we make the turn at Huff, we're going to come back to 220 knots, and we'll be going down to flaps 20. Flaps 20. At Smurf, we got to be at 210, and then we'll hold. We'll actually hold 210. We'll go down to 200 actually. Now we'll leave 210. I don't want to go to flaps 25. I think the gear horns go off. ILS is starting to come in. IHCC, which is the correct identifier. right, CE, but we're gonna get kind of reverse sensed here because we're on the facing the wrong way on the wrong end of the airport. But everything is looking good. So there's a turn at Hoof. We're gonna come down to 220 knots now. 220 knots speed select. We're below 245, flaps 10. Flaps coming out. We're below 235, flaps 20. And we'll leave flaps 20 out. Big orange return on the radar too. What do you mean on the radar? This thing doesn't have working radar, does it? Oh crap, it does. I did not know that. Well, interesting. I'm gonna turn the train off. I didn't know they'd implemented weather radar here. I had to get the train off. Let's get the weather radar on. I'm not worried about terrain. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty intense. All right, there's Mare. We have to be above 6,000 feet, which we are. We're at 220 knots. Everything is good. Yeah, I didn't know they'd put this in here. Does any of the controls work? No. Is this independent? Oh, it is. No. It just duplicates what I have on mine. Okay. Alright, so we're going to come down to 210 knots now as we approach 5,000 feet. I believe that's Kevin coming up for a shoe. You can see him on the TCAS. So we're going to be extending out and then we'll come in. I'll give him plenty of room and time. Not seeing or hearing rain yet. And there's the aircraft. Can make out little bits that are illuminated, but that's about it. Oh, it's in some clouds now. That light diffraction. Fly UK, yeah. Not so much an F1 fan, but Fly UK have the tour on following the series. I'm a few weeks behind because I've been away and stuff, but Austin area traffic, Skyways 5556 at Smurf 5,000 feet, 210 knots, extending out for vectors to Ballard for the ILS 36 right, Austin. So they're doing the tour, so I thought I'd tie in and do it as well. A lot of my flights are Fly UK flights. Okay, if I give you terrain, what happens? Let's see if you put the terrain up on your side. Oh, I can hear the rain on the windows. Alright, so we're going to go into heading mode. I'm actually going to go to a 170 heading. Give us a little bit of space for when we do the turn around here. Yeah, I've been with them for a while now. I joined them, I think, in the winter of 2021. About 4 or 5 months after the sim came out. Again, for everybody, sorry about the throat. It is driving me nuts as well. All right, so our intercept is going to be 1,600 feet. So we'll set that in before we make our turn. We already have the minimums and everything in, so that'll be fine. I think we're gonna when we get just past Ballad, we'll make the turnaround for it. See the glide slope coming up. That's good. I think at this point we can come down to 4,000 feet. Start down.
Austin traffic haircuts when I tower clear from a 36 right at Gulf taxi to North
Yeah,
Gulf,
we do some of the scheduled airline routes and stuff, but I really like the tours. Different aircraft that takes you around the world, flying in different places. That's what I really find a lot of fun. Heading down to 4,000 feet. So we're just going to come in here. Here's our turn. LNAV, VNAV. Get ourselves over and around. I think we're doing 4 tours right now. Each day of the week kind of has a theme. Sundays we've been doing the F1 series on multiplayer. Alright, so there's 4,000 feet coming up. Speed, I'm going to come back here. I don't want to be going that slow. Let's get that speed up. There's the rain. We fly VATSIM, and a couple of the flights we do multiplayer so that people who don't do VATSIM or aren't comfortable can join in. But most of the other flights are on VATSIM. Okay, localizer is armed. I'm not seeing the glide slope yet. So we'll make the turn here for the localizer. Localizer capture. It's waiting on the glide slope and then we'll go approach mode. There's approach mode. Glide slope is up there. starting to come in. Starting distance 13 miles. Austin area traffic, Skyways 5556 established, ILS 36 right, 12.5 miles. Austin. Anyway, for the glide slope to capture. So our reference 144, 154, we want 159 is our approach, and full flaps. Glide slope capture. Down we go. So 159. Speed back to 159. We're below 200 knots, gear down. Flaps 25.
Landing gear.
And we're below 185. Flaps full. Alright, full gear down. Gear down 3 green. Lights are on. Cabin is notified. Recall is clear. Flaps full. Minimum set. We are 8 miles out. And not seeing a thing.
2,500.
All right. Oh, I got lights. I'm from the Toronto area in Canada. Oh yeah. A lot of rain across the windshield there. There's the airport coming out. You can see 36 left, 36 right. Coming into view now. Lots of rain. Alright, let's get the come on, arm. Damn it. There we go, speed brakes armed. Alright, so we're kind of in between cloud systems by the looks of it, or rainstorms. Austin area traffic, Skyways 5556, 4.5 mile final, runway 36 right on the ILS, Austin. So no use going down. We'll take her down to our usual 500 feet and then I'll take over. It does do a nice auto land, I will say that, but no call for it today. Did say 2,600 feet for the breakout, and that's roughly where we were when we got out of the clouds, so looking good. See how much traffic is down here in Austin tonight. Just Kevin. 1,000 to go. Aircraft is stable, speed is stable on glide, on localizer. Winds are pushing quarterly out of the right front. No other issues. Terrain radar, terrain is not an issue. I hope I get over this soon. Molly, quiet. Of course, she just woke up. 500 feet, autopilot disengaged. Molly. She heard someone out in the hall. Alright, a little high. Want to get her down. We don't have a lot of room.
300.
My first officer's going nuts.
Minimums.
Landing.
100.
Auto throttle's off.
40, 30, 40, 10.
I can get Get her down in the touchdown zone. Get that nose wheel down. Reversers are up. Keep that nose down. There's our exit. Manual braking. Reversers off. Let's get my airport diagram up. Yeah, there's Gulf. And welcome to rainy Austin, Texas. All right, we're going to come off here. We're going to follow Gulf, which is this one. There we go. Let's get the gear up, or the gear up. Flaps up. Oh, is that snow coming down as well? Interesting. With the taxi light, we'll leave the turn off lights on. Get the landing lights off, strobes off. Get those lights off. Keep taxi going. Let's get the APU up and running. And Austin traffic, Skyways 5556, taxiing to the air cargo apron via Golf, Charlie, Whiskey, and the apron. All right. Everything's coming up. We can turn off the weather radar. We can turn off the terrain radar. Bit of power here to keep us going. Flaps are almost up. It'll take a while to get those big barn doors up. My dog's barking at yours, yeah. Well, she was good. She was sleeping. Oh, she's lying back down again. She was sleeping behind me right until final, and then she heard something and kind of went a little bit nuts. But she's a puppy. She's allowed to. Alright, seems our barrel was out slightly. Well, that's fine. Everything is set. So the default airport. Oh yeah, it does look like snow out there. What's the outside temperature? 16 degrees? Really? Oh, it said 17. Maybe it is. Do they work? No wipers. That's a shame. Alright, so we're going to come down here to, this is what we want here. Alright, let's get this beast around the corner. It's a little bit slippery. Indiana? Yeah, that's not too far. It is awesome seeing the light diffusion there with the cloud and the rain coming down. There we go. Got her around the corner. So we're going to follow this up. It does that little turn there, then we got a bit of a right turn on Whiskey, and then we'll be at the cargo apron, where we should find Kevin and his Cargo Lux. APU bleeds are on. That's good. Alright, we can actually alright, Molly. Zoom in there. We can see where we're headed. This is the apron we're going to. This is the air cargo apron. So we're coming up here on Charlie, up to here. This is Whiskey. We're going to come up there and then we'll go in. Molly, come on. was saying on the departure stream earlier today, I was in LA last week, and when we were leaving, we had to get bussed out to a remote stand for our aircraft. And as we were going along the taxiway, or the roadway, right beside the runway, a giant cargo Lux 747 took off. Really nice to be fairly close to it to see it go. It was pretty awesome. What are you barking at? She's got this little weird half woof that she does. She doesn't want to bark fully. Alright, let's get a little bit of brakes on here. We come up to the corner. Let's get her around. There's Kevin. It's going to be an interesting coming because the apron is this huge area, but the entrance is right up near the building. I think we're going to have to get around them somehow. We can reduce some of the lightage as we come in. We do GA flights sometimes. The closest thing to a GA flight we're doing at the moment is on Wednesdays. It's another multiplayer series. We're currently visiting every U.S. state capital in the lower 48. And we're flying, well, myself is flying a DC-3. So we're doing that. It's pretty good. Kevin joins in a lot in the DC-3. There's another guy that sometimes pops in a Spitfire. So there's lots of options there for aircraft. But that's sort of GA flying. We have done flights in the Cessnas, and early on in the sim, when the sim started, I was doing sightseeing flights around various places in small aircraft or in helicopters. I was doing that. We'll take this line here. I'll leave the taxi light on so I can see it. Let's get this thing around. Come on, baby. You can do it. Might not be perfectly on a line, but that's fine. They can use a tug to push it to where they want, if they want. There's a line. We'll take that one. There we go. And I think that's going to do it for... Oh, that's the top of the building. We are up high. Alright, let's get the parking brake on. We can get the aircraft shut down. Alright, so weather radar is off. Transponder can go back to standby. Turn off lights are off. Strobe lights are off. We'll get all these lights off. Strobes off. Wing lights are off. Logos. Oh, I will leave the logo light on. That's fine. Speed brakes are retracted. Flaps are up. Transponder motor's off. Weather radar is off. Anti-ice will go off. And the APU is up and running. So engine bleeds can come off, parking brakes are off, fuel control switches will now come off, hydraulic pumps. APU generators, please. Did the APU not start? That's not good. There it is, coming up. I guess it didn't start. There we go. Anyway, where was I? Fuel pumps. Fuel pumps can come off. There we go. Fuel pumps are off. Windshield heat off. Anti-ice is off. Beacon is off. We'll leave the nav lights on. Seatbelt signs can come off for the guys in the back. Transponder again is off, and we are done. What light did I leave on there? Oh, I left the taxi light on. There we go. All right. Well, thanks for flying along, Kevin, and thanks for coming in and watching. We will see you guys on the next flight. We're back tomorrow, 1930 Zulu. We're flying the ATR in Japan. See you all there. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye for now.